Donald Trump is actively aiding and abetting Israeli terrorism in the West Bank, and this is after he pledged to the world that he wouldn't allow Israel to annex the West Bank.
I will not allow Israel to annex the West Bank. No, I will not allow it. It's not going to happen.
Did you speak with Netanyahu about this?
Yeah, but I'm not going to allow it. Whether I spoke to him or not, I did. But I'm not allowing Israel to annex the West Bank.
This is why you never trust or believe any promise made by Zionists. This comes as the Israeli Knesset voted to annex the West Bank. Meanwhile, it's crickets, not only from the White House, but the entirety of Western corporate media. It's complete crickets from the Zionist-controlled media in the West about Israeli settlers engaging in terrorist attacks against Palestinians in coordination with the IDF in the West Bank. There has been over 860 documented cases on attacks on Palestinians by violent Israeli terrorists just this year alone. There was a viral video that was just released not too long ago showing a Palestinian woman who was harvesting olive trees being brutally assaulted and beaten by Israeli terrorists. You guys see the evil that the Palestinians are forced to go through simply by having these Israeli scum as their neighbors? Despite Israel's terrorist activities, Donald Trump is giving them everything they want, inviting Benjamin Netanyahu to the White House, allowing them to annex the West Bank, and even allowing Israel to violate the ceasefire that Donald Trump is taking credit for. Donald Trump and our ruling class don't give a damn about the American people. Their only interest, the only thing they care about, is serving their favorite genocidal apartheid colony, Israel. Sean Hannity and Lindsey Graham openly joked on Fox News about plunging us into a regional war in South America in order to get rid of Nicolas Maduro.
I had a chat with you this weekend, and I thought you had a pretty darn good idea, and you said you were going to share it with the president. I want to know if you did, and that is this opposition leader in Venezuela that won the Nobel Prize that said it really deserved to go to Donald Trump. Sounds like a pretty good leader to me for the people of Venezuela and the end of narco-terrorism and a better relationship with the U.S. Or if they choose maybe the 51st state, I don't know.
Sounds good to me.
Look at how psychotic these neocons are. Just casually joking about destabilizing an entire region and engaging in regime change that will lead to the death of thousands of people. And notice how they are supportive of Maria Machado, the Nobel Peace Prize winner, who is calling for United States intervention in her own country of Venezuela. This is how you know the establishment is all in with the war on Venezuela, which is why Democrats have been failing to call this out. Some Democrats criticize the boat strikes and the tactics that Donald Trump is using, but they still 100% support regime change. Hands off Venezuela, you imperialist scum. Poll after poll shows the American people are tired of endless war, and they oppose regime change war against the Venezuelan people. But the ruling class is still obsessed with waging never-ending war because we live in a Catholic dictatorship where the American people do not get what they want. We need to build an anti-war movement, and we need to build it yesterday.
What's poppin'? My friends, my family, welcome to another show of Nick at Primetime. Or to say RBN Live with my friend Sarah from DDG. I'm gonna bring my friend in now. What's poppin', Sarah?
Hi.
It's great to have you back on. I've been going to war with these neocons on Twitter, X, for like the last few days because I've been very open. I believe that Nicolas Maduro has been way too kind to his opposition. Way too kind. Nicolas Maduro and the Venezuelan government, they're full of gentlemen.
Yeah,
they make up these bullshit
down there right now.
Oh yeah, Chris is down in Venezuela. I need to have him back on ASAP, man. I need, how did that trip come about, Sarah?
I don't know. He got
that boy be on the move.
He landed this morning.
That boy be on the move. Can you guys imagine like what our government would do if they did what Maria Corina Machado did to the Venezuelan government, the Venezuelan opposition? You know how fast we'd be in Guantanamo Bay if we coordinate. Imagine we openly coordinated with the Chinese Communist Party, and our goal was to spread communism while working with the Chinese. You know how fast they will arrest our ass? We'd probably be killed on the spot. Nicolas Maduro, the fact that he even allowed these people to exist is crazy to me. But this is what I want to cover first. We got a lot to cover, Sarah. What's your thoughts, and have you guys been covering this much on DDG? There's a new boat strike today. You have Gustavo Petro from Colombia. And this is amazing because even though Gustavo, he calls himself a socialist, he's more of a social democrat, he has been very negative about Venezuela before. Mm-hmm. And now he completely switched on this issue because of Trump threatening regional war in South America. So what's your initial thoughts before I dive into my presentation?
Gustavo Petro is in the twilight of his time in office, and so I think that he's taking his liberties now, which is, I guess, is beneficial to us. Plus, he knows that they're gearing up for a major election interference in Colombia to make sure that his party, or a party like his, does not win again.
And as you guys see, the establishment is going all in on both parties because, as I mentioned in my hotspot video, Democrats are forcing a vote on congressional approval, but that's where their criticism really ends. They're upset that Donald Trump isn't going through the proper process and engaging in genocidal war. That's always the liberal criticism because now the establishment is all in. Trump's Venezuelan operation expands in the dark. Here's another one. Trump beats the drums of war for direct action in Venezuela. This is from Washington Post. The administration has surged warships, planes, and troops to the Caribbean for drug interdiction. And I can show you guys 1,000 more headlines, but it's crazy how complicit the corporate media is with the Trump agenda. And I'm going to cover this later with the Gaza ceasefire, where CNN is lying on behalf of Trump regarding the ceasefire. And I have caught the Washington Post, the New York Times, and Western media repeat uncritically that this is a drug operation. This is not a drug operation, fam. The Trump administration admitted it. That at the end of the day, it's not really about drugs. This is about regime change in Venezuela. So why maybe I'm being picky. I don't know if I'm being nitpicky, Sarah, but why is the Washington Post, why does the New York Times legitimize the Trump talking point when they say Trump struck another boat in their their narco-terrorism efforts? Why would you even say that unless you're legitimizing the talking points of the empire? Does that make sense, sir? Do you agree with me? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I agree.
History shows that Trump's Venezuelan campaign will be disastrous. Everyone knows that. I found this video before. This is the Nobel Peace Prize winner, the person who is Fox News regular. Big shout out to Ashton Ratazi. We had him on before. He's been sharing a lot of great videos on Venezuela. And I just want to show you guys this because I think this is based comment Hugo Chavez W here. Because this is a young Maria Corina Machado demanding a debate from Hugo Chavez. Like, the fact that she is allowed to exist shows how fucking kind and tolerant of a leader Nicolas Maduro is. In my opinion, let me show you this. Let's show this clip. This is a young Maria Machado who is clearly groomed by the CIA and the establishment.
¿Cómo puede usted hablar de que respeta al sector privado en Venezuela cuando se ha dedicado a expropiar, que es robar? Cuando se ha dedicado a insultar, sí, las propiedades de empresarios, comerciantes, hasta...
You guys see her interest? You see the interest that she has? As Hugo Chavez decreased the poverty rate, it was over 50% when he took power. And the poverty rate was around 25% in 2011. He decreased the poverty rate despite heavy Western intervention in his economy. But the opposition party is upset because he's not putting out pro-capitalist, pro-business mandate policies. Like this shows her class loyalty. And the reason why I made a lot of people on the Gusano Venezuelans on Twitter upset is because I reminded everyone that this is a class war. That you have a lot of these white, privileged, wealthy Gusano Venezuelans who never forgave Hugo Chavez for lifting people out of poverty. Let me finish this clip, and Sarah, I'll get you in if you have any thoughts.
Sí, las propiedades de
I'll
empresarios.
start from the beginning so you guys can watch it in full.
¿Cómo puede usted hablar de que respeta al sector privado en Venezuela cuando se ha dedicado a expropiar, que es robar? Cuando se ha dedicado a insultar, sí, las propiedades de empresarios, comerciantes, hasta pequeños posadas a quienes ni siquiera se le han resarcido su propiedad. Dígale la verdad a Venezuela. Aquí hay una Venezuela decente que quiere una transformación profunda y que es el momento de enfrentar con seriedad y con responsabilidad este desafío histórico que tenemos por delante. El tiempo se les acabó. Es el momento de una nueva Venezuela. Sí, acepte el debate, presidente.
Bien. Yo primero le sugiero que gane las primarias, ¿verdad? Gane usted las primarias. Es lo primero que tiene que hacer. Porque está fuera de ranking para debatir conmigo. Está fuera de ranking. Lo lamento mucho.
Look at all the people that is clearly on Hugo Chavez's side here, by the way.
Lo lamento mucho. Pero esa es la verdad. Ya que usted me llamó hasta ladrón, así me llamó ladrón delante del país, no la voy yo a ofender. Águila no caza mosca, diputada.
Eagle doesn't hunt flies, Congresswoman, with a standing applause. That's the person who won the Nobel Peace Prize, by the way. And he essentially told her, bitch, will you win a goddamn election before you step to me? Sarah, you have any reaction, anything you want to add before I move on?
Just the fact that she's been able to exist with this amount of freedom for the last couple of decades goes to show like kind of how unpopular she really is, that she has no movement behind her at all. There's no movement behind her, like to even speak of. And she's been outspoken for and had a microphone for a few decades. So it kind of goes to show how we're just trying to like force feed another unpopular leader to a people that doesn't want her.
Just like Juan Guaido was attacked at restaurants. Like he couldn't go out in public society anymore. Western media didn't cover that. He would get attacked anytime he went out in public. And we had Venezuela analysis on 2 weeks ago, and they explained that they know who Maria Corina Machado is. They just don't care. The average Venezuelan don't care about these people, which is why Hugo Chavez said, a hawk doesn't hunt mosquitoes. You are nothing to me.
I think she might even be less popular than Guaido was. Guaido enjoyed a little bit of a charismatic sort of movement where people kind of liked him because he was somewhat handsome and nicely spoken, but she doesn't enjoy that sort of support. So
they made up this bullshit about how Maria Corina Machado is in hiding in Argentina.
Yeah, I was going to ask where she was because I knew she wasn't in Venezuela. Well, that's also kind of helps with the narrative building, though, right? Like she's persecuted, she's hiding out in Argentina. She doesn't need to be in Argentina. She's just there. She's waiting for them to overthrow the government so they can fly her in. Is what she wants. She's waiting.
I'm trying to find my source on this. She gave an interview on Fox News where she was literally in Venezuela. I misspoke. I meant to say Venezuela. She was in Fox News. She gave a Fox News interview like a few months ago. We covered it on our show. She's like, I'm in hiding in Venezuela right now as I give this interview. We are terrified that the Maduro regime can go after me at any time right now. So you want us to believe that the Venezuelan government just can't find you? Like she's hiding she's playing hide and seek with the government, and the Venezuelan government can't find her. That's the storyline that they gave a few months ago when they talked about the Nobel Peace Prize. They said she's bravely in hiding in Venezuela and she can be retaliated by the government at any time. Like, if you really think Maduro don't know where the fuck you at right now, he don't give a damn. In fact, he's too nice. This is why I'm saying he's too nice. You shouldn't even be able to step foot in Venezuela. But she literally gave a Fox News. I played a video a few months ago, guys, but she literally I'm hiding in Venezuela right now. Like, what? Like, they will find your ass in a second, which is why I said they've been too kind. Because if we did the same thing, imagine if I was actively working with Putin to overthrow our country. Do you think there would be me hiding in the United States? Nigga, they'll knock down my door the next day. And that is what Venezuela would do if they were actually an authoritarian police state like the United States. Right? All right, let me show you this Gustavo Pedro clip. I think we're going to cut off the RBN stream here. We're about 15 minutes in. So if you're on the RBN side, you can watch on the RBN channels on other platforms. I'm on X. I'm also live on my personal YouTube channel. So